Hey everyone, welcome back to Rima Reads. So today I wanted to talk about some of the series that I want to continue in 2021. It's still wild to say that. I can't believe it's like less than a month away, y'all. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, 2021. I'm ready. It's okay. We're good. I'm ready. So I wanted to talk about some of the series. Wanted to continue 2021, so these are book series that I've already started the first of the book, and either the second book is out today or it will be coming out in 2021, and I want to continue the series. So the first series I'm excited to continue on in 2021 is the Villains series by V.E. Schwab. The first book is Vicious, which I read about a year ago, and I really enjoyed it, but then I'd kind of fallen into a reading slump and never picked up the second book, Vengeful, and so I really love V.E. Schwab. I liked all of the books I've read by her, and so I really want to read Vengeful, so that is one of the series I'm going to continue on in 2021. The next book I am excited about is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kimmerer. So I read the first book, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, a couple months ago, and it's good. I enjoyed it. Love story's cute, whatever. But that side character or second lead, or I don't know how you call it, Gray, he stole my heart. I love him so much, and A Heart So Fierce and Broken is, I believe, supposed to feature his story more, and I think he's like the main character of it, and I'm so hyped to read it. The third book in this trilogy, A Vow So Bold and Deadly, is coming out in January 2021. So I think it's a great time to finish up this series because I could read book 2 and then just get straight into book 3 once it comes out. So this is one of the other series I will be completing in 2021. So the next book I want to continue in is The City of Blades by Robert Jackson Bennett. So this is the sequel to A City of Stairs, which I read 2 or 3 years ago. I really enjoyed the book, and for some reason I never picked up City of Blades after that. But then I read earlier this year the Foundry Side series by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I love them so much. Those 2 books are so good. And so I immediately after finishing those went and picked up City of Blade, and then I could not remember anything that happened in City of Stairs. So my plan for 2021 is to reread City of Stairs and then go ahead and read City of Blade so that I can continue on in the series and read more Robert Jackson Bennett's works because I really like them. The next book I want to read, or next series I want to continue in 2021, is the Poppy War series by R.F. Kuang. I literally just finished The Dragon Republic, and y'all, it is so good. It was so good, and I'm just so excited to get to the Burning God. And the Burning God came out in November this year, so it's fairly new, and I'm just real excited to get a hold of that book because so far the Poppy War has been such a good series, and I'm sure the third one will live up to the hype. The next series I want to continue in 2021 is Jade War, which is the sequel to Jade City by Fonda Lee. Jade City I read it a couple months ago, and it's such a cool, interesting book about this fantasy land where Jade gives people powers, and there's a gang war struggle. Lots of shit went down in Jade City. I'm thinking there's gonna be an all-out gang war, more of the all-out gang war between these 2 factions, and meet our main characters again because I really loved our characters in Jade City, and I'm so excited to dive back in and see more of their story. So the next series I'm very excited to continue on in 2021 is the Crier's War books. So the first book is called Crier's War, which I read a couple months ago, I think early in 2020. It's so good. It's like this futuristic world where autonomy, who are like robots, cyborgs, something like that, like basically have taken over, and it's like this enemies to lovers sapphic romance in this world, and it was really, really good. It was such a cool, interesting world, and I really liked the relationship between the two main characters. And so the second book, Ironheart, came out I think last month, and I'm just real excited to read it and dive more into the world. I think if you're looking for like some good sapphic fantasy romance novels, like Crier's War is a great series to read, and I'm just so excited to see what happens next. The next book I'm excited to read is Supernova by Marissa Meyer. This is the third book in the Renegade series. So there's Renegades, Arch Enemy, and then Supernova. I read the first two earlier this year, and they're really, really good. But Supernova wasn't at my library after I finished the other two, so I was just kind of been waiting, but I think my library has it now. And it's just like this futuristic world with superheroes, and our main character is on the anarchist side, and I really enjoyed Arch Enemies because she really felt like in book one she's kind of flipping back and forth, I think, more on whether she wants to be on the anarchist side or not. And in book two I feel like she really got into the anarchy, and so I'm very excited for Supernova because I think some stuff is going to go down, and I'm hoping we get more anarchy in this book. I'm just excited to read it. The next series I want to continue on with is the Broken Earth series by N.K. Jemisin. I read the 5th season also about a year ago, and it was really good, and so I'm very excited to pick back up on that series. Kind of got away from me with all these other books I started reading, but I do want to get back into that series. And so the next book in that is The Obelisk Gate, and that's already out, so I am planning on picking that book up in 2021. So those are all of the books that currently have the sequel out that I haven't gotten around to reading for whatever reason that I'm excited to pick back up in 2021. The remaining of these books are books that are the sequel is coming out in 2021, and so I will pick those up as soon as I possibly can once the sequel's released. And the first book is WINTERKEEP by Christine Cashore. This is probably my most anticipated book of 2021. I love Christine Cashore's Graceling Realms books. So WINTERKEEP is the 4th book in the Graceling Realms book. And like, I read Graceling, I don't know, when I was like 13 or 14 years old, and it just like, it changed me, y'all. Like, those books are so good. They're so feminist. They're just so interesting. I love all 3 of the books in the series currently: Graceling, Fire, and Bitter Blue. And so I was just so hyped to hear that Christine Cashore was making another book, WINTERKEEP, and this one comes out in January, so it's like not that far away, and I'm just like so hyped to read it. They're such good books with amazing female characters, and like the world is so interesting, and I just can't wait to dive back in. I think WINTERKEEP is about Bitter Blue, so I'm hoping like all of the main characters make an appearance in WINTERKEEP because I want to see more of Katsa and Poe and Fire, and I just really am so excited to dive back into this book series, and this is the book I am so looking forward to in 2021, and it's so close, you guys. Yes. So the next book that is coming out in 2021 that I'm excited to read, Witch Shadow, which is the 4th book in the Witchlands series by Susan Dennard. So the first books are like Truth Witch, Wind Witch, Blood Witch, and this is the 4th book, Witch Shadow. This is such a fun fantasy series, and I'm so excited for the 4th book because I think the fourth book is going to focus on my favorite character, Isolde, who I love so much. I've loved her since book 1, and I want to know what's gonna happen with her. And this series has a really cool magic system, but also what I really love about it is that like the main focus and the most like important relationship in these books are between our two main girls, Isolde and Safi. They're like the focus on female friendship between these two, and their like found family strings and ties are just, it's so good in this book. I really love their relationship a lot, and I love books that focus on female friendship, and so I'm excited to see what happens. So the next book I'm super excited to read, and this also might be my other most anticipated read. I shouldn't have said Winterkeep because this is like a good tie with Winterkeep, and that is Mr. Impossible by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the second book in the Dreamers trilogy book series, I don't know, after Call Down the Hawk. And first off, what is up with the name Mr. Impossible? I cannot believe she's calling the second book Mr. Impossible. Like, it's not a bad name if this was like a superhero book, but it's not. It's not a superhero book, and I don't like this name at all. Why is it called Mr. Impossible? Maggie, why? Okay, now that I've gotten that off my chest, I am so excited for this book. I loved Call Down the Hawk. The Raven Cycle is one of my favorite series. One of our mains from the Raven Cycle, Ronan, is the main character of this series, and I really enjoyed Call Down the Hawk. I was like a little bit nostalgic because I was like, where is Blue and Gansey and ladies from Foxway? And throwing away my nostalgia, the actual plot of the book was really good, and I loved seeing more of Ronan and Adam, and I liked the new characters we got in the series, like Jordan. I am really excited to see what happens in Mr. Impossible because Call Down the Hawk ended up on a big cliffhanger, and we don't know what's going to happen to our characters. And also, I just really want a Blue and Gansey cameo. Is that too much to ask, Maggie Stiefvater? Is that too much to ask? If Blue and Gansey aren't hopped on a plane making their way back, I will fight someone. Like, you cannot tell me that Gansey wouldn't immediately jump on a plane when he hears Ronan's in trouble. Like, yeah. So anyways, I'm very excited for Mr. Impossible. I think hopefully Adam will also be in this book more because he is in Call Down the Hawk, but not as much as I would like. So anyways, I'm very excited for this book. Next book that's coming out in 2021 is a psalm. I don't know how to say this word. Psalm. A psalm of storm and silence. Why would you choose this word? I don't even know what it means. I'm gonna have to Google. But anyways, A Psalm of Storm and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. This is the second book after A Song of Wraith and Ruin, which I read 2 months ago, and it's such a great fantasy story based off of like West African mythology, and I loved my main man, Merrick. He's like this main character with like anxiety, and I loved his journey throughout the first book. I'm excited to see what happens in this one because shit went down again, like a lot of books at the end of the first one. Now our two heroes are on opposite sides. Not that they were not on opposite sides in the first book, but you know, our two heroes are on opposite sides, and we're gonna have to see what comes out from this. The second book is coming out in sometime in 2021, and I'm going to snatch that up and read it as soon as I can because I'm so excited to know what happens next. So the next book I am excited to read in 2021 is Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. The first book, Fireborn, I read I think in January of 2020, and it's a very fun book about dragon riders and these two childhood friends who become dragon riders, and one of them is like the son of like the despoted king of this country, and essentially like there was a coup when he was a child that like overthrew the king, and he ended up at an orphanage and made friends with this girl, and now they've grown up and become dragon riders, and it's a really fun story. I want more dragons. Like there were good dragons in the first book, but I want more dragons, you know? So hopefully Flamefall will deliver on my dragon quota, but I'm very, very excited to read the second book in this series. It's coming out, I think, in spring of 2021. So super looking forward to that. And the final book series that I am looking forward to reading in 2021 is Nowhere by Brando Sando. This is the third book in the Skyward trilogy. So the first one's Skyward and the second one's Starsight. And the third one is coming out in 2021. These are YA sci-fi novels, and I really enjoyed Skyward a lot, but Starsight, I loved Starsight. It had a lot more focus on like other planets and aliens, and it really upped the stakes for me. And y'all know I love Brando Sando. I read all his books, so like of course I'm hyped for this one as well. Like yes, I love my yearly dosage of Brandon Sanderson novels. So super excited for Nowhere. Always need more YA sci-fi in my life. And so that concludes all of the book series I am excited to continue reading in 2021. There are other book series that I've started that I'm not like 100% sure if I'm going to continue onward or not. I don't only want to read series in 2021, and I feel like I already have a lot of these that I want to really continue onwards and read with. So the other books that I've started in a series, we'll see if I read them or not, because I do really want to read like some new books. There are so many books on my TBR, so I definitely want to make sure I have time for those and not only reading series. So these are the series I'm most excited to read about in 2021. We'll see if I add any others along the way. And if you like this video, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Thank you. And yeah, thanks so much for watching all. Bye.